I'm gonna say a few things in this video that may trigger some people, maybe not. Doesn't matter, because either way, I said what I said. I said what I said. And I want to be clear that being a notary is a business. No matter how you look at it, it's a business. Even if you're doing it after your 9 to 5, it is still a business, and I believe that you should treat it as such. And I see like videos, well, not necessarily videos. I see a lot. I'm part of the Facebook groups. I see a lot of comments, posts, and I don't necessarily think that people are treating their business as a business. Right? I'm here to support you, cheerlead you through, but I'm also here to hold your hand when I say this, that you need to treat this like a business. I also started with a full-time job when I did this. I was teaching, right? A lot of my signings took place in the evenings, and I went on and I did those signings. I started with doing signing services and worked my way up to have my own clients. I was 90% signing services, and now I only work with 3 signing services. That's it. Will I work with others if they accept my price? Yes, but I also have to know like how they work. But that's a whole other story. So I'm going to give you a few reasons on why I feel like notaries fail, why they give up, and they say that it doesn't work. And number one is that they don't treat it like a business. People think that you get your commission, you see videos, and people will do whatever, short videos, and just give you like you get your commission, you can sign up like on these platforms, these signing services, these listings where you like, right, your business is listed, and you're going to get a phone call or you're going to get a signing notification on your phone. And like, that's it. All you have to do is accept that like you're available. No, it is a lot more than that. Yes, absolutely. You can sign up to Notary Rotary. You can sign up to Signing Order, and those are platforms where signing services put those orders out. And if you are in the database in a certain zip code in a certain area, you will not get that notification. But that notification is going out to every notary in that area. So yes, you may be accepting every single time. However, if a notary in your area is already somebody's favorite, that's why you're not getting the assignment. So people sign up and they think like, that's it, I'm gonna get work, like it's effing Uber. And that is not the case. That's not the case at all. It's still a business, and that's what I mean. Like, you still have to run it like a business. You still have to market, and that goes into number 2. My number 2 reason on why notaries fail, or they feel like it is not worth it and not happening, is they don't market their business. You still have to market your business. I'm also a realtor, and I still have to continuously market. A lot of my marketing efforts were in person. I don't think that door knocking works in my area in the Northeast. I'm in the city, like very close to New York. I've said this on a few other videos. I would have to get past security. You cannot get past security. Like in other gatekeepers, when they say the gatekeeper is the secretary, the person at the front desk, the admin, whatever their title is, there's somebody that you walk in. No, like a lot of the buildings where these title companies are for me have security in the building. So if you don't have an appointment, you cannot get up. So those don't work in my specific county that I would prefer to work in. Now, mind you, I can go further out into different areas, and I have done that and marketed, but I don't necessarily want to always have to go out there. Obviously, they can still do closings in my area, but I'm trying to hit the pavement where I live. In my home county. Like, I prefer that. Yes, I can go outside, yada yada, but my point is that you need to market. If you want to door knock, so if I want to door knock, I would have to go out of my county and door knock and find these signing services, signing title companies that aren't behind a security wall, and go in there and drop my information off. But you have to market. For me, what has always worked for me is networking. I will go to networking events. Title companies are always going to be at real estate events. I'm going to find title companies. I recently went to a networking event with a lender friend of mine, connected with someone at a title company. And she said, hey, we always need people in your area because they are further south, but they have a lot of deals that happen up north where I live. And they're like, we don't have a notary that's there. We're always swamped. Great. I met them at a networking event. A lot of my title partners that I currently have, I met them at networking events. For other people, what works is your social marketing, DMing, LinkedIn. I really haven't put the pressure on LinkedIn, but that's another form of marketing. There's so many ways that you can market your business, and sometimes people are doing none. They just sign up for all of the notary platforms and just wait for the job to be accepted and for them to get the job. That's not how I feel like that's not really running a business. You're waiting for the job to come to you, and you should go out there looking for that job. Like I said, I still network. I network a lot. It can be difficult, but I also do a form of, I'll follow people on social media. This is like one of my things that I did. Feel free to use. I'll follow the people that I want to network with. That title company, that title agent or escrow officer. We just call them title, but I know in other areas they call them escrow officers. I'll follow that person. If they are on social media and they're posting, I'm going to follow them. They usually follow you back. And I'm going to follow them. I'm going to like their content, be noticed. And then if I see that they're doing an event, guess who's going to that event? Moi. I am. And usually you're going to, because I post. I actively post. I didn't in the beginning, but I actively post. So now people, oh, I saw you. I saw your post. You follow me, right? Like I see you on socials. And then it's a whole thing. And now we made an in-person connection, not away from social media, and then we get to talking whatever, and like, yeah, sure, like, and then I get added to someone's database, their Rolodex per se. So you definitely have to market. Again, you need to treat it like a business, and that includes marketing, and marketing doesn't stop. You always have to continuously, like, marketing, you never know, like, for one reason or another, like, you don't want someone to take your spot because you got lazy. You need to always show up, always be on your P's and Q's, because you don't want somebody to take your spot. Just because you have one doesn't mean that someone's not aiming for that top spot. And that can even be someone's offering lower prices, but that's a whole other conversation. And 3 is depending on the signing services. I think signing services are great. They're a great starting point once you can get those assignments and show like that you are about your shiz. But I don't think that you should depend on them, right? Signing services are going to have a cap. And a quick explanation on like working with a signing service. I don't consider myself a signing service. However, I have assigned jobs, right? When I'm not available or if it's out of my network, right? I have a notary in PA. I have like New York notaries, and I can't go to either state, but people will call me or need notary services out there. I cannot fulfill that job. So I have to have other notaries in those areas to do so, and I will pay them. If I have, or if we're using closings, for instance, because I also do general notary work, apostilles, all the things. If we're using closings, for example, because that's where a lot of people like to stay. For the closings, if I'm assigning a closing and me, right, the signing service only charges that my title company, my partner, if I only sign them, if I only charge $200, I don't have that much to give, right? So the only notary that's available, like I'm putting out on this platform, and nobody within 5 miles accepted the job, and I was offering, I'm gonna say that I'm offering like some of these signing services, I offered $50, and someone who lives 3 hours away accepts, they're likely gonna ask, if they know their worth, they're likely gonna take the job take the job, you can take the job at $50, which I would not want for them. But no one told them to take the job and they have to travel 3 hours, and then they're gonna be like, oh, they only offered me $50. I was hoping someone 5 miles away accepted the job, and that's not always the case. That is not always the case. But if someone who knows their worth, right? Shout out to my homegirl Irene. She's always going to counter offer, and someone like her is going to counter offer at like $250. I don't have $250. What am I supposed to make? They're only paying me $200. What am I supposed to make? But I'm not here to vouch for the signing services. I just also want you to think about that. Like, that's a reality. It's not like, yes, $50 is insulting. I would never offer a $50 loan closing, but that's why sometimes like that happens. Don't get me wrong. Some of these bigger signing services, the big name, the big dogs, like, they are offering very low prices and people are taking them, and they definitely have more to give. Like, check out that settlement disclosure. Please read your ultimate statements. Please read your settlement disclosures. You'll see what some of them are making. One of these big signing services, I always charge my worth. I was getting paid $150. The signing went out at $75. I asked for $150. They were making $500. I'm not here to count nobody's pockets, but you're out here charging or extending $75 to people for closing. And again, it's not their job to negotiate for you. It's your job to negotiate for yourself. But I also think people just fall into feel like they have to accept at a certain price. And I don't think that anyone should accept a $50 job, a $75 job at all. I know, like, a lot of, like, for learning purposes, we say that. And I did the same thing. I was like, okay, like, I accepted my first job at $75. I went pretty far. I knew that going the distance that I was going wasn't worth the price, but I wanted the experience. So even doing that, like having the experience, I was like, well, I'm never doing that again at that price. But now I have the experience. I see what the paper amount goes to. You need to take all of those things into consideration when you're taking these jobs. Like, you can't just take them and be like, oh, like, that's all they're giving me, that's what I'm gonna take. But that's what people do. It is a limited mentality. I always forget the words when I need to say it. It's a scarcity mindset that you don't think that anyone is going to pay you. This is what you have to take. And personally, that's not why I quit a 9-to-5. So you need to stop accepting those ceilings and counteroffer. If you want to work along these signing services, and not all of them are bad. Shout out to Constance with Accurate Closings. I do work with her all the time. She pays well, very communicative. I love working with her, but she's also only one of 3 signing services that I work with. And I'm a great closer. She said it herself, right? I'm a great closer, but the bigger companies, like, they're not going to want to pay you because somebody else is taking that $50 job when they should be paying more. All right? Like, know your worth. Be confident in what you're doing and saying and what you're asking for, especially if you have a lot closings under your belt. I've seen veterans, like, older than me, 15-year vets taking $70 signings and then being upset with what's happening, the lack of communication that some of these signing services have. Like, this is very serious. Like, with my directs, like, I'm seeing actively, like, sometimes they're still negotiating while you're signing at the table, and you still got to get it done before funding is happening. You're in the office scanning back. The attorneys and the buyers, sellers are still actively going back and forth. When you're working with the signing service, you don't see all that's happening. But when you're working direct, you often will get to see that. At least I do. I can't speak for anyone else, but I'll see what's happening. And it's super important to, one, get the funding so that it still closes, buyer gets their keys, everybody's worn out and tired. So even if they're still going back and forth on the deal, we still need to get it done. It's so important. And sometimes with the signing services, you're not even seeing all that drama, and there's drama that's happening. What we're doing is super valuable, and it needs to be treated as such. Like, again, granted, sometimes they're not offering that to you, but just know that if you are a new notary, you've never done a closing, please know how important what you're doing is, regardless of the fact of your experience. Also, know like your notary shit, please. And another reason, so where are we at? 3? No, we're at 4. Reason 4 is that people quit before they even build their time pipeline. Before they even build their pipeline of people, because they're not marketing, they're not meeting people, they just signed up and they're just waiting for the notifications of getting signings. They get discouraged. They get discouraged because they're waiting for signings. I tell everyone that I'm a notary. I have 2 phones because what I do pays for 2 phones. Right? I have 2 phones. I had someone call my personal phone. So that means, I forget who they said recommended me, but this is definitely someone that I know personally. They recommended me to someone else that says that I've done work for them, and they gave them my phone number. They didn't give them my business number, which is all Gucci, but I tell everyone that I'm a notary, and for the longest time, I wore this pin. Is it focusing? I wore this pin for a very long time, and it says, "Trust me, I'm a notary." People laugh. Oh, that's so cute. But even I didn't have to always verbally say that I'm a notary. People will read it and see that I'm a notary. It's on my car that I'm a notary. People will see me and know, like, oh, like, you're the purple-haired notary. I'm telling everybody and their mama that I'm a notary. I'm also a realtor, but the first thing that comes out of my mouth is that I'm a notary. Why? Because you might know 11 realtors, but you don't know that many notaries. And I do this for real. Including in the marketing, I got myself on Google Business. I'm on Yelp. I get leads there regular. I've also been on Thumbtack, right? Like, these are places that I put myself out there. Social media. I'm putting myself out there on social media a lot more lately, because that's what the people want to see. That's what gets the people going. So that's where I'm at. You don't have to dance on TikTok. If that's what you want to do, by all means. And I'm pretty sure that people will come to you a lot more if you're out here and you're willing to dance on social media. I am not. I refuse. I really refuse. But I see more often than not, the silly stuff definitely gets people's attention, whether you're a good notary or not, a good business owner or not. Like, the people are gonna come. So market yourself in all different ways. Cold marketing doesn't work for me. I've cold email for years and years and years, and I think I've only had like it hit once. Hey, like, you've been emailing me and I need your notary services. I happen to already be booked, and like, that was it. So the cold emailing, the marketing doesn't work for me, but for some people it does. You need to try all the marketing efforts to build your pipeline, right? So again, the Google My Business, the Yelp, a Facebook page, on being on social. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Nextdoor. I'm everywhere telling everyone that I am a notary and I'm a realtor. I have real estate for sale. I have notary services to offer. I'm telling people all the effing time, and you need to as well, so that you can continuously have that pipeline. When you build those relationships and people need you, they will use you. So people don't spend the time marketing, building that pipeline, and then nothing's in. It's feeling dry, or you only get one closing here or there because you're just waiting on those notifications, and then you end up quitting. And then people also go all in. I went all in, and I don't think that anyone should go all in. It's like, notary has such a low barrier to entry, and it's so cheap. You can become a notary and essentially like start your business with like $150, right? Most businesses to start, you need way more money than that. You need so many things. Like, trying to do content, you don't always need to have all the things. But again, I'm just that type of person that I'm gonna go all in. But if I'm gonna go all in, I have to do it. I have to use this camera that I bought. I bought multiple cameras, mics, lighting, all of the things. That's super expensive. You don't have to do that in anything, but that's just my personality. But if I think that if that's also going to be your personality and you're going to go all in, that means you need to go all in on everything else. The marketing, going out there, right? Like being there, shaking hands, kissing the babies, like the guerrilla marketing. You need to be out there doing that. But you do not have to. You don't need to have like that full car setup that you see. You don't need to have the printer. Obviously, if you're doing closings, you are going to need to have a printer. But I don't think that you have to buy a Big Daddy just yet, especially like if you're not super busy. Like a single tray works. Change the paper out because you only got one signing for the day. You accepted it yesterday. You have the time to like print it out. But when I have back-to-backs, I'll have 4 closings in a day. 5. Shoot, I have a friend that had, I think, 11 the other day? 7? I don't know. She had a lot of signings one day. And like that, you can't be using the single tray. But if you're just starting, you're definitely not going to be that busy. So get the single. Try it out. Again, build your pipeline. Start marketing. And then once you start getting bigger, like, you know, start getting out there and getting busier, then yes, buy the things. But I see too many people going out here and buying, spending. The printers are more expensive now. When I bought them, it was $250. Now they're like $500, $600. That's a lot to spend and maybe only done like 2 closings and you quit. I see someone selling their equipment brand new. Never done anything with it. Because they were just expecting the business to come to them. And that is not how it works. It's not how it works. Any business you open, right? Like you're going to have to market. You're going to have to get the people to come inside one way or another. And it is the same with being a mobile notary. And people still don't understand what that is. You know how many times I get called and people are like, can I come up right now? No, because I'm mobile. I come to you. I'm not sitting at the office waiting for people to come in. And even if I did, not enough people walk in. You know how much it costs where my office is to have like a physical office? It's $1,200 a month. And it's just like me and a desk. Nah, like I'm good. I just like, I don't need to have all that, but I'm able to take clients if we need a setting. I can take them there, but I also have to pay money for that. It costs money. It costs money. So yes, people quit before they even build a pipeline. You need to build a pipeline, your own clients. Your own clients. The signing services have their clients where they're getting an abundance of signings and they need people to help them. And also, don't believe the myth, side note, that title companies only work with signing services. That is not true. That is not true. I'm living proof of that. A lot of like title companies that I work with don't even know what the F a signing service is. Obviously, like every market is different, especially like the smaller markets. They may only work with signing services just because it's easier and they don't know if there's other notaries. And this is a notary partner that already exists and has the database. They don't have to create their own database. So they're providing not only closings, but they're providing notaries for their closings. So they're just going to stick with that. But if that signing service is, because it is an additional cost, like the signing service is not cheap to work with unless they're keeping the same market as having a notary, which I don't think that that's a smart business move, but that's none of my business, right? Still put your efforts out there, man. Like, please do. Like, a lot of people be like, oh, like, that's not true. They only... Bro, nobody that I know, title companies don't work with the signing service. Like, don't let anybody discourage you. If I let people discourage me, I would have never walked into a title company because someone says they only work with signing services. I would have never marketed to a realtor because they said realtors don't know. My first realtor partner who also connected me with my biggest title partner was a realtor. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not true. Like, what's your experience, what's my experience, like, it's not going to be the same. So go out there, shoot your shot, and see where who's going to give you the job, right? And number 5 is that people don't invest in themselves. Like, it costs money to run this business. People are using their home address that's public information, and I think that that's nuts. I think it's so nuts that people are having their home address online and having strangers ship them things you don't know. But again, that's not my business, but I don't think that's running your business like a business, where it's your home address, it is your, like, that's where you're getting shipping, that's where you're getting things mailed to. Are you not making $100 a month to pay for having a office for your mailing? And is that not what you're doing? Are you not making, we have an office, we have a business phone, are you not making $200 a month in your business that you can have a business line and have a business address to mail and have like privacy and safety? You know how many notaries I've shipped things out to and they give me their home address? I think that that's crazy and unsafe. Right? Like, if people know that like notaries are out here putting up their like home address and like, nah, the world is too crazy. The world is too crazy. Run it like a business. Have your home address. Investing. That's investing in yourself. These are write-offs. Having accounting services. That's another write-off. I use QuickBooks. QuickBooks is, I think, $20 a month. You're not making $20 a month in your notary business, dogs. You're not making $20 a month. Oh, should I set up an LLC? I didn't in the beginning. I wanted to see. I still got an EIN for sole proprietor because that's free. And once I was making money, I decided to get an LLC. And some people would say, you know, like, some of us can't afford to do that. It is $230 to make an LLC. You are not making $230 in your notary business to set up an LLC? Not even 2 years in? Because I did mine's 2 years in. Right? Because I do get that. I was like, do I need to spend that $230 or whatever it costs to set that up? Because it varies state by state. It's like, do I need to spend that right now? I didn't. I was like, let me work my way up. Let me build my pipeline to see if I need it. These are investments. Pay a mentor. Take classes. Like, your journal is going to tell you everything you need to know. But people get nervous, scared, thinking that they need to see every single document. I just had someone call me to notarize a document that shows that he's alive. I didn't know that that was a thing. I don't need to see the effing document. I don't. Does it have a notary certificate on it? No, it don't matter. You pick one of the notary certificates, we put it on there, and I'm notarizing the document. That's it. Don't think that deep. But if you want to have someone's time, because there's so many videos out here for free. Nobody appreciates the free stuff. Nobody appreciates the free stuff. You want to talk to somebody and have their time, that costs money. That costs money. I've paid for mentorships, several. Apostilles. I wanted to know how to do that. I paid for a course. I wanted to know how to do loan signings. I paid for a course. And it wasn't just about notarizing those docs for me. It was just more about knowing the process and working alongside real estate agents, title, lenders. That's a whole thing that goes into it. It's more than that. It's definitely more than that. I paid for those mentorships to know what I am doing. But people are, I can't afford it. It's expensive. Blah, 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 blah. You need to invest in yourself because that's what you're doing. You want to create a business, no matter what business it is, you're going to need to invest in yourself. And there's a lot of people who don't want to spend the money and invest in themselves. They think that I just want to make extra money. I just want to do this. I want to buy things, da, 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 da. But when you decide that you want to run a business, you need to invest in yourself. And that's another reason, right? Number 5, that's the 5th reason why people fail. And 6, the last thing that I'm going to say here is look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, dogs. Talk to yourself. See, like, it might be you, right? Like, did you do all these things? Did you invest in courses and then put to action what you learned in those courses, right? Like when I took these mentorships and these courses, whatever the case may be, oh, like I need to make a Google My Business. I was making a Google My Business page that night. Oh, I need to market. Let me look at my local chambers of commerce, and I'm gonna go to their events. Their events were like $25, especially if you already have a full-time job, bro. Like go to these networking events, and there are also free events. The free events don't always have a lot of things popping, but if you are shy, because people are worried about that, like I'm shy, I'm an introvert, I'm shy, I'm an introvert, I do not like talking to people. You know how many times I've had people comment, I didn't even know you could talk, I thought you were mute, I didn't know you had a voice. Like I am shy. I do not like talking to people, and I've gotten out of my shell. I would go networking event. There was a networking event that I went to every single month because they had an event every month, and I went for what? I went for 6 months straight to those events, just getting used to saying, hello, my name is Edith. I do this. I have a notary business and I do notary work. If you ever need a notary here. Has any of those people ever called me? No, like literally no one at those specific events has ever called me and used my business. They follow me, like my content, hee hee ha ha. But it just also just got me used to when I met people at other events and other places and scenarios, when I had to talk to them, I now like just knew what to just say, right? And have like basic conversations with them. How can I help them? How can I connect? Who can I refer to you if needed, right? What value can I provide you? I just got used to having those conversations. Go to networking events. Look at, if you're not doing any of those things, you're not going to be successful as a notary. Point blank period. If you're out here waiting for signing services to hire you, you're just accepting their rates because you have this scarcity mindset, you're not going to be successful as a notary. Period. You're not going to be successful if you're not going to do any of the things, if you're not going to put to action what people are telling you, what has made them successful, if you're not going to follow someone's plan who's already successful because you have this scarcity mindset, you yourself will not be successful. Your business will not go anywhere. And there's plenty to go around, and I say that as someone who has contacted notaries, right? With the signing services, I feel like giving people the idea that they have to accept a certain price point. You know how many, I had to hire notaries for apostille recently that I had go from New York to California to Colorado to DC, and now docs are in Texas. I've called several notaries. People don't know their price. Tell you I'll call you back, and then call you back like almost 2 days later with a price and a plan. Why didn't you already know? You're not setting yourself up for success. And if it doesn't work, if you did something, you're like, damn, like I didn't charge enough because it was more work that I thought it was going to be. The next time you get a similar request, you change your price. That's it. I've done work where I'm like, damn, I didn't charge enough. And then the next go around, I up my price because I realized like this is more work than I thought it would be. And I just changed my price. No big deal. No big deal. And then if some people feel like, oh, like I'm going to overprice myself. All right, fuck it. If you overprice yourself, so what? So what? You can change it, bring it back down. But please don't be out here doing shit for chump change. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Like, if this video hit home, please like, subscribe, share with a notary friend of yours, right? Drop a comment of what like hit you the hardest, and let me know if you liked any of them. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. If you like this video, like, comment, share with a friend. I appreciate you for watching. If you made it this far, I yapped a lot in this video, and stay tuned for the next one.